Hello, and thank you for joining the latest circuit breaker training module. This training module focuses on the difference between deleting a student and deleting a placement. My name is Roseann Langlois, and I will be demonstrating both actions in the claim system. So now I'm going to navigate over to the circuit breaker portal to review these items. Okay, so here we are in the portal. I'm going to click on circuit breaker. And then select the appropriate claim file. And to do this, we are going to go into students, add students, so we can view the list of students on the claim. So there are 10 student claims so far on this claim. All right. So the first example explains how to remove a student from a claim when the student, let's say the student was added unintentionally. So in this example, we're going to delete student Thomas Riddle. So on this claim detail, on this page, you can see that here's Thomas Riddle, and we don't have any costs entered so far. We're going to click on Thomas's SACID. Doing this brings you to the student detail page. So here's the student SACID, and here's the details. That's how you know you're on the student details page, because the student SACID is in the top left. Now I want to delete the student from this claim, so I'm going to navigate over to the right. I'm going to click on this edit pencil and click delete. And then you can enter a comment if you would like, but I'm not going to in this case, so I'm going to click save. So even though I clicked save and that seemed fairly quick, when you're actually deleting a student, it may take up to 3 minutes for the deletion to fully process and be reflected in the system. So please keep that in mind. So now I'm going to navigate back to the claim, and I'm going to go over how to delete a placement. So here now we are going to go back over to students. So when you're deleting a placement, you're deleting an individual placement rather than removing the student entirely. Okay. In this case, you'll discover prior to submit. In this example, you've discovered that prior to submission, that the required documentation, such as invoices for a purchase, is missing. Okay. So now I'm going to go into, this applies to this student, Tyler Swifty. Okay. So here I am within the student claim details page. So here's the student claim, here's the detail. If I wanted to delete Tyler, this is where I would do it. But I don't want to delete Tyler. I want to delete one of Tyler's placements for which I do not have invoices to support. So now I've gone into the student's placements tab, and down here I see all of the placements associated with this student. So I do not have invoices to support this equipment claim. So I'm going to click on the placement name. And now I am within the placement details page. Now you see, instead of having the student SACID number here, it has the placement number. So this is the placement details page. Now, the placement detail page obviously, summarizes everything about this placement. So I want to delete. I'm going to click delete. And in the comment, I'm going to enter no invoices to support claim, period. And then I'm going to click save. Now, if I go back into the student claim, into placements, you will see that the student placements, once they're deleted, it happens immediately. Okay, so a placement is deleted immediately. Now let's go back to the claim and we'll go into students. And let's see if Thomas Riddle, it has been deleted or not. So yes, I'm looking here. I click view all to just make sure that Thomas is not there. Thomas is not there. Thomas has been deleted. It's always good to verify, and just make sure, if you're not sure how many students or if all of these are your student, if this is an entire list of the students you've entered on your claim, make sure to click view all so you're getting a full complete view. All right. So just to summarize what I've covered here, deleting a student is done from the student details page. That is, you're clicking on the SACID. Here's the student information SACID, and here's the details. This is the student details page. And this is where I would delete this student if I wanted to. Deleting a placement is done from placements details. So you would go into the student, click on the placement tab, and then you would go into the placement name. And this is the placement details page. So here, instead of having the student information, it has the placement information. And then you would click here, you would click the pencil, you would click delete, enter a comment if you'd like, and then you click save. So while the distinction may seem confusing at first, remembering where each action occurs in the system will help ensure you're deleting the correct information. This concludes my training on the difference between deleting a student and deleting a placement. If you have any additional questions, please contact your district liaison. Thank you for participating.